Obviously, WandaVision is a very strange show with very strange moments where Wanda can warp reality, kind of like the Reality Stone in Infinity War with Thanos. Many people have been confused with what's happening, like people are saying it takes place in the 60s and way before Endgame, and I'm here to say that no, it takes place after Endgame. It's super confusing, but I have a theory that I hope can clear some of the confusion. So, like I said, no, this does not take place way before Endgame. In the 60s, Wanda, and especially Vision, since he was born in 2016, they are not even alive by the 60s. This takes place after Endgame, just to clarify. So, in my other video, I went over the Stark Industries ads, which is basically part 1 of this theory, and this video is part 2 of my theory. So, what does this mean? What do these Stark Industries ads mean? First one on a toaster and the second one on a watch named Strucker with the Hydra logo on it, which obviously represents Von Strucker from the Avengers movie. I have a theory, but I'll just be going over a part of it in this video. So I think that the toaster ad represents the bomb that destroyed Wanda and Pietro's home. In Age of Ultron, we heard Quicksilver talking about the Stark Industries bomb that destroyed their home. One of the bombs was inches away from his face, but never went off. And labeled on that bomb is Stark Industries, as we heard him talking about in the Age of Ultron to the Avengers. They waited for the bomb to go off, but it never went off. This relates to the first episode in the Stark ad because the woman was waiting anxiously for the toaster to go off, but it never did, and it was labeled Stark Industries. Until moments passed, it finally went off. Now, for the Strucker watch ad, as we know, Wanda and Quicksilver both were Hydra. They hated Stark for killing their parents, so they were a part of Hydra. Not only that, but Strucker was the scientist who experimented with their powers. He gave them everything, until he was of course killed by Ultron, displaying a message saying peace with his blood. Both the toaster ad and watch ad both represent memories of Wanda's, and possibly in the future we will get memories from Vision. So Strucker means Von Strucker, who was kind of like a parent to Wanda and Quicksilver. He experimented with their powers. He kind of gave their powers to them, and they helped them achieve, and he kept them locked away for a war, possibly, as we saw the Avengers infiltrating the base. So that's what the Strucker means. He's from Avengers. He was kind of Wanda's dad in a way. So these both were just memories, which leads me to a crazy theory which involves tech that has made many appearances in S.H.I.E.L.D. and used on Fitz and Simmons to enter another dimension. So now that you have some background, I was talking about tech that was used on Fitz and Simmons in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I would definitely recommend it. This video would make sense if you do, but it's a long show, so you might not get there. The tech I'm talking about is Chronicom tech. Just a short recap, Chronicoms are robot assassins that want to destroy Earth and the human population because they think the humans are a threat to their species, and they have like crazy high tech. I'm talking like Star Wars tech, laser guns, crazy technology advancements, and all that stuff from the future. So in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we saw multiple times where these Chronicoms were trying to destroy S.H.I.E.L.D. So in these several attempts, once they were able to capture Fitz and Simmons and throw them into this large tube device that reached into your self-consciousness, and you are basically sent into your own brain. You are able to warp reality, create whatever you want, go to wherever you want to go, and for Simmons, it was her bedroom as a little girl in her childhood. And for Wanda, although it's not so much a memory, the 60s. She could have grown up watching 60s sitcom shows, which would explain why she wanted to live in a 60s sitcom show. Because the first episode of WandaVision is literally a full-on 60s sitcom. So the information we have right now, and what could possibly be going on, is the Stark ads, which reveals more and more each episode. Hopefully we will get one each episode, which would be pretty awesome, are all from Wanda's memories. We also know that someone is somehow monitoring Wanda and Vision's brain, or this show, as we see in the end credits. So Stark is dead, since WandaVision takes place after Endgame, and we've seen Stark ads. So I think that Hydra has taken control over not only Chronicom tech, but also Stark tech. I think Hydra could either be using Chronicom tech or working with the Chronicoms. They were destroyed in S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's still a possibility that some of them survived. And since Tony Stark is dead after Endgame, Hydra somehow got into possession of the tech and are either using the tech to get into their brains, trying to display Stark tech as in the ads, or the one in which I think is happening is Stark is simply from Wanda's memories, since he did destroy their home, their parents, everyone they know and love. I think Hydra has gotten the technology that sent Fitz and Simmons into their own brains and have sent Wanda and Vision somehow into their own brains, and in their brains they can warp reality as whatever they want, as we saw Simmons enter her childhood and Fitz create lab technology put of nothingness. And I think Wanda is living the life she's always wanted to live, apart from all the war and Russians, Hydra, everything that she didn't want to have, but she had to have. This theory is possible, seeing how Wanda saw the beekeeper with the communist logo on his back, as well as the helicopter toy. She was able to warp reality so that they could go back to a happy life, no bad guys, and as Vision says, happily ever after. Now, in the trailers, we saw some sort of war happening, which I will leave for another video, and for the radio and the man asking Wanda who's doing this to her, she could have heard that from the outside world, where she's in a tube, and in the outside world from that tube, she can hear some sort of communication that was going on. Really, anything is possible for this show, and I have some major theories and videos I want to make, so stay tuned for that. Comment your predictions and subscribe for more Star Wars and Marvel videos.